About 6 to 8 million dogs and cats enter animal shelters every year. Only half make it out alive.
What we're trying to treat now is cancer. It's a chronic disease of pets that are getting put to sleep because there's too many of them.
This is the story of 5 people and 21 rescued dogs on a bus from Texas to Washington. These 21 dogs were going to be put to sleep because of overcrowding in Texas animal shelters. Now they're getting a second chance by being relocated to Washington, where there's a shortage of small dogs.
Come on, I know you have fun in there. Come on.
The leader of our journey is Prima Mosey. Prima runs a no-kill, nonprofit animal rescue group in Austin, Texas called Paws of Austin. Prima realized her dream of a career working with animals by running an animal shelter in Texas for 4 years. However, the part of the job Prima hated was constantly being forced to put healthy animals to sleep simply because of overcrowding.
It was a Friday afternoon, and I had a puppy brought to me, and he was in the shelter for 30 days. There were no takers on the puppy, and it was time. And at the end of the day, I remember playing with the puppy, and that's when I said, this will be the last dog I will have to be putting down. That was my last day at the shelter. And within a few months, started a new rescue organization, which is a no-kill, nonprofit, Paws of Austin.
She runs into a lot of dogs that have behavioral problems and problems with people and living in a household. A lot of them have spent a lot of their time outside and don't know what it's like to be a family dog.
Being a foster mom means you take care of them 24 hours a day. Some of them are on the door, they're waiting to go home because they don't understand what's going on. So you just have to make the transition a little smoother by giving them the attention they haven't been getting, which is why they ended up getting surrendered or lost or whatever.
We took on the task and fell in love with it because we found we could help so many more dogs by fostering than we can ever adopting ourselves. So we've fostered probably 25 to 30 dogs over the course of the last couple years. Somebody out there wants this dog and needs this dog more than you do, so it's kind of, you know, a good thing, and you understand letting go.
4 volunteers accompanying Prima meet in the parking lot with their luggage in hand, along with the dogs they fostered for the trip. They all come from different walks of life. They're united by one thing: their incredible love for animals.
I met Prima after Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Rita. And so I wanted to go and help with the animals. I called several of the bigger organizations, and they went, oh, we're not doing anything, or we don't need help. And then I think somebody emailed me a Craigslist thing that Prima was looking for help. I went and met her at one of the meet and greets. Next week, we were making some of the trips.
Prima called me one day and said, I heard you have a lot of vacation time, and you need to spend it, and I need a driver. I need volunteers. And I sat and pondered, and I said, you know, it's a really good thing. And it's one of those things you may only do once in your lifetime.
I met Prima a long time ago, almost 3 years ago, at a dog park, and she was doing Paws of Austin at the time. Just started doing the weekend work of holding them in the PetSmart.
I didn't hear about Pets Across USA until 2 weeks before the bus was supposed to leave. I was at Town Lake Animal Shelter just visiting the dogs because I like to go there and pet them and tell them I love them and that they're great dogs, even though they're in that situation. and she was there picking out dogs that were going to go on the trip. I said immediately, I'm going. This is what I'm going to do. There was never a look back. That's what I wanted to do from the get-go.
We're good. Load up.
When everybody arrived, I knew no one else's name or anything. It was like a big collage of people, and it was sort of like, are you going? Okay, I'm going too. Nice to meet you.
The first moment that I stepped on the bus and looked at all those really anxious, excited little faces, they always seemed to trust us and know that there was something good coming.
Prima's dog, Kenya, and Angela's dog, Bella, wanted to come along for the ride too.
Well, we found out right away that Eve was the kennel master, and she was too good.
When the first dog took a poop in his kennel, we all just kind of looked at each other like, oh, that's us. That's our cue to do something. I've been working at the kennel, you know, my job for 3 years now, so I'm pretty used to cleaning up messes. So disgusting duties do not bother me. The puppies, you know, even being so young, would cry and cry and cry when they had to go. They did not want to go in their kennel. They knew this is their sleeping area. They don't want to go to the bathroom here.
The group underestimated how long it would take to unload, walk, and reload 21 dogs. Each potty stop took about an hour, pushing the day longer than anyone had planned.
Two of the puppies were really young. They were about 4 weeks old, so they needed to be bottle fed every 3 to 4 hours. It was really a bonding experience with them.
Before the trip began, Prima fostered many of the puppies at her house. They needed constant attention.
Come on, let's go eat. Everybody thinks they're perfect dogs. Ha! Everybody think you're perfect dogs because you're all just laying down. Hey guys, who's hungry? Someone peed, huh? The litter of puppies we got were so filthy, they were caked in 3 days worth of poop. I actually end up using a mop bucket to fill it up with soap water and dunk each puppy in there to try to get that poop off of them. After that, there was vaccinations, deworming, and of course we had to do fecal once we realized all of them had coccidia. That means a lot of diarrhea, a lot of cleaning. We gave them their right medication, and by the time we got them to their new homes, these puppies were as healthy as could be.
They've been driving for 14 hours and haven't stopped for lunch or dinner. The group is only minutes away from the hotel and plan to walk the dogs once more before going to bed.
And then we had our little runner, Jasmine. It was actually a really neat dog, even though she would run at any moment. And she did. And Las Cruces gave us the scare of our lives. I had her in my custody and taken her in the bus, and she just went, "I ain't going," and snapped out of her collar and took off running. And, you know, there we all go, about 6 of us chasing after her down the road. And the more we chased, the more she ran. And it was a scary few moments for us, but, you know, we got her back safe and sound, and thankfully, because her family wouldn't have been very happy about that.
Despite going to bed after midnight, the volunteers don't have long to sleep. The group is up and already packing their bags to get an early start on the day.
All the puppies are already outside. Thank goodness. Could you imagine trying to sleep to that? Prima's like, we need to get away from the dogs.
I'm still waiting until y'all go eat them.
I really didn't expect that I would really be fond of Scooter, because Scooter was so quiet, but you take him out and he was just a bundle of love.
He came in looking awful. He was stinky, very stinky, and his skin was awful. It was red and bumpy.
I mean, when you first saw him and felt him, it, felt like a turtle. He had, no fur.
And his skin was basically like elephant skin. It was so rough. It was awful to touch. These legs had no hair on them. As far as his neck, this was all pussy and infected. And we're actually getting it better. Right now, we kind of removed all the dead skin, so he gets nice, better skin. With some cream, medicated bath, good food, and massages, he is getting much better.
So nothing was really wrong with him other than the fact that nobody was taking care of him. I got Daisy, which was the black Schnauzer mix, and Petunia, which was the wire hair Dachshund mix, about a week before we went on the trip. Both of them were from the San Antonio Animal Shelter, and both of them, when I got them, were scared to death. They wouldn't even move at all. We took them home. I literally set them on the ground and they laid there and just watched for instruction. They had no energy, no life, no happiness. Petunia was covered in ticks. I personally pulled off at least 30 ticks from her when I bathed her. And she was so good. She just laid there in my kitchen sink while I'm pulling ticks off of her. She was so grateful. You could tell she was like saying thank you. I bathed both of them and let them sleep in bed with me and took them out for walks and played with them. And within 24 hours, they were completely different dogs. They were happy and playful. And so after working with them in a positive environment and saying, what a good dog you are for, coming to me, or what a good dog you are for playing with a ball, they realize not everyone's, out to get them, and we're here to help.
By 7 a.m., the volunteers have eaten breakfast and packed their bags. The dogs get a final potty break and a chance to play before being loaded onto the bus.
We were coming towards Moab. We missed the best scenery because it was getting towards sundown. But the sun was setting, and the sky was purple, and it was orange, and it was red, and it was just the most beautiful sunset that I think I've ever seen. It was our second day of traveling, so we were starting to get pretty tired. We got out of the bus and started taking the puppies and the dogs into that big run that they had, and turned around and looked, and there was 15 or 20 people standing there wanting to know about the puppies. It was just incredible because the later it got, 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, there were still people coming out of nowhere to see all these little dogs.
You rescued all these dogs?
They're precious.
They are. They absolutely are.
Precious.
This is the neatest idea.
Here's
Here's our resident bully for the puppies.
What you guys are doing is just fabulous.
It's not cost effective to travel 600 miles a day for 4 days, little or no sleep, just for 20 dogs. As much as I love those 20 dogs, you got to be realistic about it. But to educate and come up with answers in an environment where people will listen to it, that's worth every penny and every minute. Because most of those people walked up to us and went, "Are they for sale?" "No, they're not for sale." And they would go, "You mean those dogs were in a shelter?" "Yeah, you can go to a shelter and adopt dogs just like this. These would be dead if we hadn't put them on the bus."
Each person should do the little bit that they can, and that adds up. Some of them will actually go home and go to their local shelter and say, "We're here to help," or "We want to foster."
It was everything you could hope for. Asking questions, and not to mention, since I stayed on the bus at night with the puppies, tiring them out so they'd sleep, that helps a lot.
I hope they have a good yard. Yeah. With a sandbox or something.
So by the time that we got done, and we finally really had to shoo the people away, it was probably 1 o'clock in the morning when we finally got to our rooms. It was a really long night. It was exhausting, but you didn't even notice. For some reason, those 3 hours went by so quickly.
Thank you, guys. It was a nice visit. Hopefully they'll be tired enough to just sleep through the night, let us sleep, so we'll have another long day tomorrow. So ready for a good night, few hours of sleep, and ready to get on the road again.
Day 3 is the longest driving day. 2 days of little sleep and fast food are wearing on everyone's spirits. Despite total exhaustion, the group is driving longer stretches without rest stops to try to make up time.
I wish I could shorten the mileage, but I couldn't. So you just take the mileage, divide by 4, and you drive a long time until you hit your goal.
2,400 miles divided by 4 days equals 600 miles per day, or about 10 hours driving. 10 hours driving plus time for potty stops equals roughly 13 hours on the road per day.
Just being on the road. I mean, most of us are not spring chickens anymore, so it was a little tougher on us than probably I anticipated. We were like a big family for 4 days. We got on each other's nerves. We were like brothers and sisters, fighting about little things and making up and getting on with it and being in too close of quarters.
Just one piece I didn't do.
So we don't have
Do you want me to look up the mileage thing? Or does it? It'll tell us on the green sign.
Yeah, it will tell.
And, you know, it was kind of tough at times because we were driving long hours. Everybody was tired. It was noisy. It was hot with the flies and you know, crazy places that you stop where you wait in line for half an hour for the bathroom. Food isn't very good when you travel.
We did have a lot of fast food. Didn't have time to really stop.
Doesn't make it easy, the fact that it's pretty hot out there. There's not a whole lot of shade.
You know, and it doesn't always bring out the best in people.
Okay, the end of day 3. We all checked into a hotel pretty late. Today, we actually had the longest day. We went over 600 miles. I think it was more like 660 miles, and had to do it in about 12 hours. Everybody's getting a little cranky with not a whole lot of sleep, so I know everybody will be happy once this project is over, especially for the dog's sake. We'll see you tomorrow. Yes, that will be all for today. Yeah, Poppy.
It was very strange, though, even though we may have only slept about 3 or 4 hours, because even though we were there, we weren't really sleeping. We got up with this different sense. You could feel between everybody that this was a big day. I remember walking on the bus saying, "You guys are going to be home today."
Yay, it's last day.
It's been fun.
I'm glad that we're getting rid of these puppies. It's been a long night.
Going good. A little bit of sleep. Last day. So, we're happy. Everybody seems pretty quiet right now. Exception of the restless ones. But we're ready to go.
Knowing their destination is near, the group is in high spirits as they get closer to Washington.
Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going?
The group is ahead of schedule today, so they get to relax and spend a little time with the dogs at a rest area before delivering them to their new homes in Chehalis.
People there really, understood, and they would make donations. They really cared about what we were doing.
These are the ones that were in the news coming from
Yes, that's the ones from the news.
We couldn't wait. We ended up getting on Pet Finders, and we got
Awesome.
some of them like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
We waited a year for a small dog to come up, so we started to look outside of our area. We live in Grace Harbor County, and we drove down to Portland to get him. So it's 2.5 hours out of our area, but well worth it. I think this is a great idea. It's good for the animals. just what they were saying about how Austin was overpopulated with puppies, and it's just, I think really people should be mandatory to spay and neuter their pets.
So, who's Prima?
I'm Prima.
Hi, I'm Terry. I'm
Nice to
from
meet
Lewis
you.
County. I'm the road captain of Lewis County Bait. This is Pat. He's our coordinator.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
We come to escort you to Chehalis.
Awesome.
How's the trip been?
Long.
Long. Terry's our road captain. That's his job. He even has a title here.
Wrong vest.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. All right, so we have got all of the adoptive families here that you said you wanted to talk to first.
Yep.
All right, if you're not an adoptive family, don't follow me.
Patty Kaya, the director of FOLCUS, the Friends of Lewis County Animal Shelter, has already screened and approved the adopters before the bus arrives.
We met Patty, and she, told us what to do, when to bring the dogs off, and basically when to say goodbye to them.
Patty would say, okay, I need this one, and I need A1, 2, 6, 8, and we were all looking at each other, who's that? Tell us which dog it is you want.
It really set in that they're leaving, and your favorites are leaving, and that's not easy here, because you have your favorites and you can't keep them all.
Terry Butler is not only the leader of the Lewis County Abate motorcycle escort, he is also adopting one of the dogs on the bus.
It was an honor to ride him in, actually. It was a great deal. Hi, Mona. Come here.
Hi.
Hi, girl. Welcome to the family. How are you?
All right, you be a good girl.
She will be.
Not too much begging.
She'll fit right in.
Since there is a shortage of adoptable small dogs in the area, people come from all over Washington to adopt their new dogs from Pets Across USA.
And I'm here to adopt Scooter. He's a little brown, dark brown and light brown Chihuahua. His eyes and I met, and that was it. We were in love. Yeah, you're a sweetheart, aren't you? And he's going to have a great home, no matter what he had in the past. He's going to have a nice fenced backyard, and he will be my companion forever. Definitely. Definitely my sweetheart.
I'm here for Daisy, the Schnauzer, and I don't know what the other half is, and I've been waiting for quite a while. I'm anxious to see her. I just lost my dog about 2 months ago.
This is Daisy.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh. And you can keep the leash. She will walk on it.
Okay. Hi, sweetie.
And don't be surprised if she sleeps a lot the first day or two.
She's tired.
Tired, long trip.
Okay.
Bye, Daisy.
Thank you.
You take care of her.
I will.
When I heard that Daisy was leaving, I took her off the bus, and her new owner was just there waiting for her, and I had to hand her over. I had to turn around before I was going to cry. She meant a lot to me. After the crowd had kind of dissipated and everyone had mostly gone home with their new dogs. And this older gentleman comes on the bus and says, "Let me take a look and, find my dog."
He's petting him and he's looking at his teeth and he's just best petting him all over. And he goes, "I think I need him. I think he should go home with me."
I'm picking up Rocky. Looks like he needs somebody to take care of him. He's going to be living there with me. We're a couple of bachelors, so we better be a good buddy. Now see there, I went and adopted the dog and somebody's ran off with him. Ah, here he comes. Come on, Rocky.
There you go.
Come on, Rocky. Come here, baby. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. You ready for this, huh? You ready? Okay, up we come. There. There's old Rocky. Yeah, you got enough Shih Tzu in you. You love this, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty good pooch already. Aren't you? Shall we go home, huh? Shall we go home? I think that'd be super.
My name's Angie, and I'm from Lacey, Washington, and we're getting the Cocker Spaniel mix female, and we haven't picked a name yet because we're going to wait and see what her personality is like. But I found out about it through the Olympian newspaper, and went on the website and saw her and just fell in love with her. I've had a Cocker Spaniel before, and I miss him a lot, so sorry. Oh, sorry. It's really emotional. We're originally from Texas, so I couldn't help pass up the opportunity to help. I'm sorry. But we're very glad to be helping and couldn't wait for the opportunity and very excited. And so I was waiting.
How long has it been?
Since I've had a puppy, it's been about 5 years. I just waited for the right opportunity and the right chance to help, So we're excited. Okay. Oh, hey, baby. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the crazy part of it is all this time we were, we're sacrificing. We forgot the other side of the coin, that there were some people out there that were just dying for these dogs. I was surprised that all of those little dogs, as friendly and as nice as they were all rejects. I was very surprised because they were wonderful little dogs.
We've come to the end of our journey. All 21 of these doomed Texas dogs were immediately adopted into loving forever homes in Chehalis. The first voyage of Pets Across the USA was a big success.
You never can recreate the first one.
Our expectations were nothing compared to what we got.
What really matters is getting the word out about spaying and neutering and saving the lives of these animals that would otherwise be put down.
The Pets Across USA program is one way to help animals. Here are some other ways that you can help. To save pets' lives, the single most important thing you can do right now is to spay or neuter your pet. In the future, give a homeless pet a good home by adopting from a shelter or rescue group. Help a dog become more friendly and adoptable by volunteering your time with them at a shelter or rescue group. If you've done all the above and would like to be more involved, become a foster parent for a pet. For more information on being a responsible pet owner or becoming a foster parent for dogs, contact your local shelter or rescue group.